Police are searching for James Thomas, believed
What's the name of the movie we're talking about?
Moon.
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 Ammo and Moon, 2009 science fiction film directed by Duncan Jones in his directorial debut.
I don't think Sam Rockwell is even. I'm sure he's in plenty of movies, but I have not seen him in like a lot. I think he's kind of selective. But from what I have seen, he's a great actor, especially after this.
Yeah, I don't know. I grew up knowing Sam primarily. The thing I can remember and probably know him most from is Galaxy Quest.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great in that.
So like in general, like did it meet your expectations? Like were you expecting a little bit more? Like how did you feel about it overall?
I liked it. It was very sad. I think as far as like a sci-fi property dealing with these themes of like what it means to be an individual and like it's like it's getting into spoilers a little bit, like what it means.
Spoil away.
Like they have like implant memories, like Blade Runner, and the main character is a clone of a guy who's living on Earth, and he had none of his memories are real. He's basically just a drone bee who's bred to just work this single job. And I think that's a cool concept. I don't think that the movie really does much with that concept aside from just like making a sci-fi movie. Like it doesn't seem to really be all that interested in like the actual implications as much as like a Blade Runner would be.
Yeah.
It's more interested in just telling a story, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I was a little disappointed that like they could have dug a little deeper into that concept.
Yeah, it's more of a character piece, really.
Yeah.
Than anything else. Like it kind of focuses all its energy on Sam. I feel like if it had a bigger budget, then maybe they would have been able to explore some of the, weirder aspects of it.
Like, just like a little more like, because like we just kind of see them sad and upset, but they don't really explore. Like if just like some different dialogue, I think. Like, it's like, yeah, I understand why this would be upsetting, but if you could like, I don't know, just do something with it, you know?
I think that early on, something that I realized upon, honestly, how do I put it? I feel like this viewing for me, it also might have to do with the fact that I just don't feel good today. The viewing, my opinion of it kind of went down a little bit.
Yeah.
In that, like, I feel like they kind of like started leading us to places where we didn't really get resolution. Like the biggest thing for me that I noticed this time was so there are like some kind of pseudo dream sequence type things. Like the very first one is like he sees his daughter, or like a young, I believe his daughter, like he sees like a young woman, like hallucinates a young woman being in the pod with him, and he like burns his hand like on the wall, like goes paying attention, he burned his hand. And then like there's a few sequences where he like dreams of like fucking his wife, and like he's like trapped like under the bed and stuff. And there's a few of those like in the first half of the movie, and then they just kind of drop those. Like they kind of,
I thought the conceit of the movie was going to be the whole thing is him going insane because he's isolated. But then it's just like, oh, he has clones. There are no more hallucinations. There's no more him going crazy.
Yeah. I feel like you could have kept the clone, like the whole thing of there being actually clones, like is like, I feel like you could have kept the message. But then I don't know. I feel like I could have done with like, I wanted more weird dream sequences, more weird vision, because it wasn't more weird visuals. And for things like you were saying, like if he had had a dream where there was a million Sam Rockwells, you know, that like we're all trying to like hop on top of each other and yell at each other and shit, then like I feel like there was a bit of a, what's the word? Like I feel like it didn't necessarily ramp up. You know, like I feel like at a certain point,
it kind of it drops like a lot of that introspective shit. As soon as there's another Sam Rockwell, it's more focused on telling a sci-fi story. Yeah. Like, it's more focused on, like, the nuts and bolts of this than it is on, like, the sort of, like, high-minded, like, psychological aspect.
Yeah.
So it's just, like, this makes him sad.
Indeed, yeah.
It's like there's no, like, horrifying existential crisis that you would probably have in this situation.
Yeah, they could have delved deeper into like how much it messed with his mind. I guess
because it's already an R-rated drama about about this guy in this situation. It feels like it was just a little bit ill-equipped to do. Like, and it sounds like I don't like the movie. I really
No,
do.
I
This
like
is
the
just
movie
like
too.
my
It's-
main criticism of it.
Yeah, probably my main criticism too, because there's a whole lot about this movie that's great.
Yeah.
Which,
I like it a lot.
yeah, we'll get into the from the production design to
Yeah, exactly.
The police are searching for James Thomas, believed to